To you from Vail, Colorado, and I decided I'm going to start doing a new thing. I get a lot of questions over email because I send out a lot of emails to people who subscribe to my blog, Lifelong Learner, and I decided that instead of answering these in one-off instances, that it would actually be really cool to create videos to answer the questions. So every week from now on, I'm going to pick 5 questions maybe more, maybe a little bit less, depending upon what they are and how relevant I think they are to other people, and create videos of me answering them. So let's get started. Okay, so somebody asked, how do I build confidence? Well, I think you first have to define what confidence is and really understand it in order to come up with a game plan on how to build it. What confidence really is, at the end of the day, is certainty. It's certainty around an expectation of an action. If I go over here and flip on the light switch, I'm confident that the light above me is going to turn on because that's what happens when I flip the light switch. And I know that with certainty because I've done it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, right? And it's when we have uncertainty in what's going to happen after we do an action that we don't have confidence. So in order to develop confidence, we have to get rid of that experience deficit by actually doing those things that make us uncomfortable so that we can be sure of what the outcome is going to be. And when we're sure of what the outcome is going to be because we've conditioned our brains through experience, through results, to understand what is going to come after we do something, then we can have confidence. Now, the challenge is, I'm like wheezing right now. The challenge is that there's a lot of things that are really scary, and going out and doing things 100 times so that we can have confidence doesn't necessarily sound that exciting. And also, a lot of times we go out and do those things and the actual results of the experiment were not what we wanted them to be. So I guess what you need to do is first understand the experiences that you need to have and need to repeat over and over again so that you can be confident. And if you aren't getting the results that you want, and understand why it's important for motivation, why it's important for you to go and have those experiences. And a question that I ask myself every time that I know that I need to do something that's scary, but I want to develop confidence. Like, up until probably 6 months ago, I would not talk to really beautiful women on the subway because I wasn't confident about how that would go. And the idea of doing that was really scary. But I knew that if I didn't do that, I would never become confident at doing that, and I'd potentially forego opportunities to meet amazing people in my life. And that, for me, the pain of foregoing that opportunity was, as I kept repeating to myself, far outweighed any pain that would come from that interaction. And that provided me the motivation. So whatever it is you don't have confidence about, you ask yourself, what will happen if I don't do this? What will happen with my life? What will happen if I do this? And you need to get leverage on yourself asking these type of questions so that you'll cut through that initial resistance. But let's say you do that thing and you don't get the results that you want, and you still aren't confident because you can't aggressively pursue something if you think that a bad result is going to happen. Well, what I would challenge you to do is, instead of attaching yourself to that outcome, attach the way that you approach it to that outcome. So maybe the reason that you didn't get the result you want is not because of you, is not because you're not awesome, is not because you didn't have something that is required. It's because you didn't approach it the right way. So the next time, you want to iterate on that approach and keep iterating and iterating and iterating until you finally are consistently getting outcomes that you want and that you can be confident about, so that you can pursue things that you want for your life aggressively because you know what is going to happen after you take that action. So that was a lot of rambling, but the keys are: develop confidence. It's about getting rid of the experience deficit. In order to do that, you have to force yourself to do hard stuff, and you can get leverage on yourself by asking hard questions to motivate you to do hard things. And then if you don't get the results that you want, keep iterating on your approach and attach the outcomes you're getting to the approach until you get your right outcome. And then just repeat until you've conditioned an expectation that something's going to happen after you take a certain action. And at that point, you'll be confident and you won't be asking questions because you'll be certain about what will happen after you do something.